Hello guys, this is Real Recaps. In this video, I will talk about a 2024 American erotic thriller film, Babygirl. Before we start, I hope you will like and subscribe to the channel. The film opens with Romy, a highly successful CEO at Tensile Tech. From an outsider's perspective, her life appears flawless. She has a loving husband, Jacob, who works as a theater director, and two daughters. However, Romy feels an underlying dissatisfaction, sensing that something essential is lacking in her intimate relationship with Jacob. One day, while preparing for a presentation on warehouse automation, Romy enjoys a pleasant breakfast with her family. After checking in on her daughter Nora, she turns her attention to Isabel, who requests permission for her girlfriend, Mary, to have a sleepover. Romy firmly refuses the request. Heading to her office, Romy encounters a loose dog frightening pedestrians. To her surprise, Samuel easily calms the dog. She rushes into her office and delivers her presentation, highlighting the advantages of automation in warehouses, particularly in reducing human labor. Afterward, her assistant, Esm, informs her that interns are waiting to meet her. Romy instructs her to bring them in. Casually engaging with the interns, Romy invites them to ask questions. Samuel boldly challenges her claims about sustainability, implying she might be using the term merely as a marketing strategy. His question shocks the other interns, and Esm tactfully redirects them out of the office, suggesting they explore other departments. She then invites all the interns to a company party on Friday. During a phone call, Romy asks Samuel to make her a coffee. After ending the call, she curiously inquires how he managed to calm the dog earlier. He simply responds that he had a cookie and carries them everywhere. Samuel also advises her to limit her coffee intake. Before she can respond, another phone call interrupts her, and she leaves without another word. That night, Romy asks Jacob to suffocate her during intimacy, but he is uncomfortable with the request, leaving her frustrated. On Friday, Romy and her family attend the company party, as do the interns. Stepping outside for fresh air, she encounters Samuel, who asks for a lighter. After she hands it to him, he informs her that he has chosen her as his mentor. This leaves Romy confused, as she never signed up for the internship mentorship program. Back inside, Romy's gaze is drawn to Samuel as he dances sensually. The next day, while employees clean up after the party, Romy notices Samuel's tie and decides to keep it in her office. She then gags herself with it, marking the beginning of her growing attraction to him. Longing to feel youthful and beautiful, Romy undergoes a cosmetic procedure. However, her daughter Isabel mocks her altered appearance. Later, at the office, Romy encounters Samuel in the elevator. He notices the subtle changes in her face and reassures her that she is already beautiful, with no need for alterations. Embarrassed, Romy quickly exits. Esm asks Romy if she has considered promoting her, to which Romy vaguely responds that she has thought about it and leaves it at that. The following morning, Romy interviews Samuel, but his confident demeanor unsettles her. When she refuses to share details about why she started her company, instructing him to look it up online, Samuel counters that not everything on the internet is reliable. Annoyed, Romy explains that she graduated from Yale and, during a job interview, was asked challenging questions, including how many ping-pong balls could fit in a room. Samuel interrupts, asking if she answered, but Romy ignores him and continues. She shares how she was given a case study about a struggling company and, unable to find a solution, boldly told the interviewers to screw themselves. To her surprise, they hired her. After gaining experience for 5 years, she founded her own company. Samuel responds by estimating that around 1,800,000 ping-pong balls could fit in the room. In a moment of weakness, Romy kisses him but quickly apologizes, stating it was a mistake. That night, she receives a call from him, but ignores it. She later notices her daughter Isabel with an unfamiliar girl. The next day, Romy confronts Isabel about the mysterious girl, but Isabel insists she loves Mary and what she is doing is merely for fun. Samuel approaches Romy, questioning why she declined a second meeting. She lies, saying she was busy but will consider meeting him if she has time. In an attempt to reconnect with Jacob, Romy visits the theater, surprising him, as it has been a long time since she last came. That evening, Romy goes out for drinks with her coworkers. As conversations flow, her eyes keep drifting towards Samuel. A waiter then places a glass of milk in front of her. Samuel's order. She drinks it, locking eyes with him. Later, as she pays for her drinks, Samuel simply says, "Good girl." The next day, Romy visits a hotel room to confront Samuel, asking him to stop calling and leaving letters for her. However, Samuel turns the situation around, questioning why she came when he had invited her. He then commands her to kneel. Initially thinking he is out of his mind, Romy prepares to leave. But curiosity overcomes her, and she hesitantly tries to kneel. Shocked by her willingness to obey, she leaves, only to return moments later. This time, she kisses him. Samuel leads her to the wall and instructs her to get on all fours. As he pleasures her, Romy is overwhelmed by the realization of what she has done and breaks down in tears. Samuel comforts her as she processes her emotions. They continue meeting whenever possible, with Romy carefully managing the balance between her family life and her affair. However, unbeknownst to her, everything is on the verge of collapse. One evening, after work, Romy returns home only to find Samuel sitting with her family, having a meal. As she enters the room, Samuel immediately explains that she had left her laptop at the office, so he brought it to her. The girls ask if he works at their mother's company, but he clarifies that he is just an intern and also has a part-time job at a bar. Frustrated with his behavior, Romy tells Samuel that they should stop seeing each other. Irritated, Samuel responds that he was never looking for a girlfriend or anything serious. However, Romy remains firm in her decision, prompting Samuel to angrily slam the car door and leave. Following this, Samuel starts ignoring her. Unable to bear it, Romy chases after him, asking if he is okay. He coldly replies that he wants to transfer to another department because he does not like working with her anymore. Alarmed, Romy insists that he cannot do that, as it would prompt an investigation into his reasons for transferring. However, Samuel dismisses her concerns, stating that it is not his problem. Devastated and filled with rage, Romy lashes out at Jacob when he tries to touch her, indirectly blaming him for her infidelity by accusing him of failing to satisfy her. The next morning, Romy apologizes to Jacob, but he senses something is off and leaves the house, unsettled. Romy later tells Samuel that he is young and that she does not want to take advantage of him. However, Samuel assures her that their relationship is completely consensual since both parties agree to it. He then proposes a rule: she must do whatever he asks. He commands her to sit on the edge of the table and makes her promise to obey his wishes. If she refuses, he threatens to inform her superior about their relationship. Giving in, Romy continues meeting him, experiencing things she had only ever fantasized about. As she undresses, Samuel reassures her that she is beautiful, but she struggles to believe it. They share an intimate moment, and Samuel asks her to choose a safe word. Without hesitation, Romy selects Jacob. After their passionate night, Romy feels fulfilled. The following day, during Isabel's birthday celebration, Romy notices Samuel with Esme, her assistant. She soon realizes that Samuel and Esme are involved. Furious, Romy insists that Samuel should only be with her. Samuel, however, points out her hypocrisy, as she is still married. Their tense moment is interrupted when Esme arrives. The next day, Romy advises Esme against dating an intern, reminding her that she is in a position of power and that her potential promotion could be jeopardized. Later, Samuel invites Romy to meet him at an underground club. The atmosphere makes Romy feel like a teenager again. When she returns home, she finds her daughter crying. Mary has discovered that Isabel cheated on her. Romy comforts her. The next day, Esme unexpectedly arrives at Romy's house. She reveals that she knows about Romy's affair with Samuel and urges her to put an end to it. Esme clarifies that she does not want a promotion in exchange for her silence. Instead, she expresses her belief that women should be in positions of power. With that, she leaves. That night, Romy finally confesses her affair to Jacob. However, she deliberately avoids mentioning Samuel's name, vaguely describing her lover as a random stranger. She also admits that, unlike most women, she has harbored dark fantasies since childhood. Furious and betrayed, Jacob demands that she leaves the house. Later that night, Romy spots Samuel casually swimming in her pool. Enraged, she scolds him for showing up at her home uninvited. At that moment, Jacob catches sight of them together and immediately realizes that Samuel is the random stranger she had mentioned. A heated confrontation erupts between Jacob and Samuel. After the fight, Romy hands both men some wipes. Jacob then tells Samuel that he believes he was manipulated. However, Samuel firmly insists that their relationship was entirely consensual. Suddenly, Jacob experiences a panic attack, and surprisingly, Samuel helps him calm down. Apologizing for interfering with their family, Samuel finally leaves for good. A few weeks later, Isabel visits Romy. She tells her mother that Mary has finally forgiven her and asks her to return home, explaining that Jacob has not been eating properly or leaving the theater. Realizing the damage she has caused, Romy apologizes to Jacob, and they begin to mend their relationship. Meanwhile, Esme is promoted to junior recruiter at the company. One day, a higher-up approaches Romy, revealing that he knows about her affair with the intern who is now in Japan. He tries to blackmail her, demanding that she sleep with him in exchange for his silence. Romy, however, firmly refuses. The movie concludes with Romy rekindling intimacy with Jacob. The end. Thanks for watching.